Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. Within Universe Ocean, in the deep region of the endless chaotic airflow, a boat of mausoleum was at rest. In the other direction, a crimson pagoda appeared out of nowhere, where it immediately transformed in a crimson streak of light. It flew toward that boat of mausoleum, and while merely inches away from the boat of mausoleum, it vanished into thin air. Golden Horned Beast Body. In the hall, with a stone blade on his back, Luo Feng watched the golden horned beast appear before him. They looked one another in the eye. Both pairs of eyes reflected the same steely determination. War. Luo Feng whispered. When Huge Axe Creator was annihilated, Luo Feng was aware that this period would be the most critical time for the humans. Universe Masters scattered all over Universe Ocean, and the original stars were rushing back. So his golden horned beast body, which was initially deployed to the deeper region of the universe boat to obtain the legacy of Jiafanzi, was naturally summoned back immediately. After all, his golden horned beast body was holding on to Shawu Wings and Star Tower, which made up a total of 2 supreme true treasures. This was superior combat power altogether. During a war that would decide the fate of a race, such power was a necessity. If there is war, my original earthling body and my golden horned beast body can set off for war together, Luo Feng thought. His original earthling body had the formidable blood ghost blade suitable for attacking even the toughest opponents. Even if pitted against a universe supreme master, he would still dare to take up a one-on-one fight. Golden horned beast body had Shawu Wings. The godly blood stains on Shawu Wings could bring about extremely effective impact on willpower, especially when dealing with ordinary universe masters. It could simply wipe them out. And with the protection of Star Tower, it could easily deal with an enemy force as big as hundreds and thousands of soldiers. Each had different combat personalities. Come on, Luo Feng silently said to himself. He had already prepared himself. Perhaps in Universe Ocean, he would be at a disadvantage when confronting Universe Supreme Masters, because his godly power was holding him back, but in the original universe, there was an ultimate limit of power. The 6th tier was the ultimate limit, and every Universe Supreme Master would be allowed to unleash their combat power to as much as this limit allowed before the original universe would start to exert suppression. It was a powerful suppression, so powerful that relying on Blood Ghost Blade, Luo Feng dared to fight the war. It was just a pity that he could only fight the war without being able to hold his opponent back. The initiative still lay with the opponent. After meeting up with Golden Horned Beast, Luo Feng boarded the boat of Mausoleum and speedily returned to the original universe. The trip to and from took him a total of 18 days. Primal Universe, Primal Chaos City, within Primal Chaos City Leader's Palace. Teacher. Luo Feng met with the other body of Primal Chaos City Leader that sported a more hideous appearance. You're back. Primal Chaos City Leader nodded. The other races are keeping quiet, not making any moves recently. They have yet to learn of the news of Huge Axe Creator's annihilation, I suppose. Luo Feng asked persistently. Not a single movement yet. Primal Chaos City Leader nodded. Maybe it hasn't been long enough. And internally, our race is keeping the secret well under wraps. When seen by any of those beneath us, the large-scale movement of undying spirits will appear as a lack of order, a messy commotion. As for those in Universe Ocean who may or may not have seen Huge Axe's miniature universe collapsing, we will just have to depend on our luck. Yes. Luo Feng nodded. If they were lucky, no one would pass by the place where Huge Axe's miniature universe was for the next 10 to 100 years. If they were unlucky, then perhaps that very day, some universe master would penetrate the walls of the original universe and make the discovery. It will be best if no one discovers it. The longer, the better. Primal Chaos City Leader gave a rare smile. If we can give rise to another universe supreme master, that is ideal. You have brought the 2 supreme true treasures safely back, which is a contribution beyond words. Luo Feng nodded and could not help but ask, Teacher, the distribution of the 2 supreme true treasures. Let's go, we will talk when we get inside the virtual universe, Primal Chaos City Leader said. Oh? Luo Feng was left with no choice. Previously, he had talked Teacher into it. But it seemed like Teacher had already made up his mind that the two supreme true treasures would be distributed to Darkness Master and Peng Gong Master. Luo Feng was in disagreement, because these treasures were his contributions. Of course, it made sense that they would be distributed according to his wishes, which was why Teacher and disciple had both came to an agreement that the final decision would be made only after a thorough discussion with Peng Gong Master and Darkness Master. In the virtual universe, at the long stone table before Huge Axe's godly palace, 4 figures were now seated. They were Primal Chaos City Leader, Darkness Master, Peng Gong Master, and Luo Feng. The 4 of them were now the strongest beings of the entire human race, and they formed the 4 pillars supporting the race. 2 supreme true treasures are brought back. Primal Chaos City Leader smiled. They are Black Prison Tower and Yang Jun Rod. The special traits of Black Tower Prison. Brother, Peng Gong, both of you should know. I feel that it is very suitable for you, my brother. Me? Darkness Master was momentarily shocked. No matter how detached and aloof he could not help but feel his heart trembling, because this was a supreme true treasure they were talking about. Brother, Darkness Master started to speak. Don't refute this, Primal Chaos City Leader said with a nod. Your power is comparable to mine, even though in war you may be a bit less powerful. The help that Black Prison Tower can supplement me with mainly lies in providing me with stronger defensive ability. But for you, you can put it to highly good use in terms of attacking. In your hands, it will be able to unleash stronger powers. And Peng Gong, that Yang Jun Rod, out of us all, only you are skillful with the use of rod-type weapons to launch attacks. There is no need for you to decline any further. Peng Gong Master hesitated a little. True. Out of all the strongest beings of the human race, only he was skilled in using rod-type techniques, and now that the human race was facing a critical moment, he should not try to object so strongly. Yet if that was the case, would it not mean that he and Darkness would each be taking one supreme true treasure? What about Primal Chaos City Leader? For countless years, Primal Chaos City Leader had been known to be only second to Huge Axe. He was the most hopeful candidate for the next Universe Supreme Master. Primal Chaos City Leader, you, Peng Gong started to say. Teacher. Luo Feng said. He was also hesitating, unsure of how he should go about persuading. If his persuasion worked, then the previous meeting with Primal Chaos City Leader alone would have been more than enough to get him to agree with him. This is not just my decision. It is also Teacher Origin's decision. Primal Chaos City Leader finally opened up. Teacher Origin's decision. Luo Feng, Peng Gong, and Darkness were all shocked. Suddenly, on an empty stone chair by that long stone table, a white-robed man appeared. Luo Feng and the rest quickly turned around and with great reverence, shouted, Teacher Origin. Looking at the white-robed man, the tension and pressure that had been weighing Luo Feng down of late finally loosened up a little. The human race still had Teacher Origin. Even when Teacher Origin was under eternal suppression, he was still able to provide humans with the original universe as their land of retreat. The few of you here are all quite powerful. Teacher Origin looked towards Luo Feng and the other 3. If you all are given some time, together with the systematic guidance Luo Feng obtained from the ancient civilization, all 4 of you can be hopeful in becoming Universe Supreme Masters. What a pity that time is a luxury that the humans seriously lack at the moment. But if you all are pitted against any one group in a fight, given your powers and the supreme true treasures, you all should have nothing to fear. And yet, only Luo Feng has gotten the inheritance from the pulse of Duandong River, which is the same as saying the humans have gotten the inheritance. This time around, Huge Axe's annihilation, Teacher Origin's eyes flashed a hint of grief. Considering the numerous Universe Supreme Masters within the original universe, I'm afraid not many could remain unmoved. My human race will come to face all sorts of attacks, be it openly or in the dark, from the various groups of powers in the entire original universe. There is nothing else to fear. Given your powers, even if you are pitted against a Universe Supreme Master, under the limit set by the original universe on Universe Supreme Masters, you have nothing to fear. My only worry is that you all will be sealed. Sealed. Everyone's expression changed, Luo Feng along with the rest. Yes, even if they had other true treasures, or even supreme true treasures with them, there was a possibility of being sealed all the same. Once they were sealed, if they were brought to a certain miniature universe, they would certainly be at the mercy of their captor. And the strongest defense capable of resisting this seal, Star Tower and Black Prison Tower. When a supreme true treasure palace was pitted against a seal, the outcome would depend on which was stronger. When 2 to 3 Universe Supreme Masters join forces, first, they will surround you all so that no one can escape. Second, they will suppress you all with a seal right away. Teacher Origin shook his head with a sigh. Once you are being sealed, all will be too late, so you all must bear this in mind. Sealing you is very easy, but if you all are thinking of sealing a Universe Supreme Master, that is difficult. Luo Feng and the rest nodded. His words were so true. Even if the space ripples were locked down and teleportation was impossible, the speed of a Universe Supreme Master was still able to soar by leaps and bounds to reach a speed that was way beyond the limit of the universe laws. They were in total control when it came to initiating a war or not. If they wanted to leave, they could depart anytime. If they wanted to wage war, they could fight anytime. However, our human race does have some capital, too, Teacher Origin said solemnly. We have Black Tower Prison. And Luo Feng also has a boat of mausoleum, so we got to put them to good use. In this war, it will be better to lay low at the beginning, but the moment we start attacking, we must do so viciously. Make the other races feel the pain, fear, and hesitation. Then we shall have achieved something. At least there will be some effect on those other races, who do not have much power, but are just here to reap some benefits from us. This will send running. Primal Chaos City Leader, Darkness Master, Peng Gong Master, and Luo Feng all nodded. The 9 top powers in the original universe weren't the only groups that had to be considered. There were still various other groups like the Thorn Ring Alliance and many more. Many other groups of powers that were one notch lower in abilities might also find the human race an easy target for bullying and thus join in the siege. That would be a terrifying notion. For the distribution of true treasures this time around, Teacher Origin said, Darkness will take Black Prison Tower, and Peng Gong will take Yangjun Rod. As for Primal Chaos City Leader, you will take charge of the Primal Secret Region. You shall not attack recklessly. If Primal Chaos City Leader has to attack, that will indicate that the human race is facing its final stage of desperation. Luo Feng, Darkness Master, and Peng Gong Master hesitated slightly. Finally, all of them nodded. They all knew what Teacher Origin meant. Obviously, when there was the need to go out onto the battlefield, the race had to depend on the 3 of them, while Primal Chaos City Leader would be the last line of defense in the Primal Secret Region. Time passed. The human race had always remained cautious and maintained vigilance, so it seemed like the various races in the original universe, and the other groups of top powers within the Universe Ocean were still oblivious to Huge Axe Creator's annihilation. Universe Ocean, within East Emperor Holy Land Universe. In a remote location, within the vast East Emperor Holy Land Universe, Luo Feng had chosen a dilapidated universe that was nearer to the original universe to carry out their deal, but that place was much too far from East Emperor Holy Land. Even if North True Star Master were to teleport over long distances, he only managed to return to East Emperor Holy Land half a month after Luo Feng arrived back at the original universe. Within North True Star Master's palace. North True Star Master stood within his palace where a lone figure was suspended in midair. It was East Emperor Ancestor, who had appeared out of thin air a while ago and was radiating cyan light. Ancestor. North True Star Master bowed respectfully. I have gotten hold of the memory stone. Give it to me. East Emperor Ancestor looked down at North True Star Master with a glimmer of desire in his eyes. Yes. With a flip of his hand, a black stone appeared in North True Star Master's palm, memory stone. With a wave of his hand, the memory stone appeared before East Emperor Ancestor, who then looked down at it in his palm. The look in his eyes changed. He had desired it so much. Shortly after, a stream of light ray shone from East Emperor Ancestor's palm and enveloped the memory stone. Instantly, a large amount of information from the memory stone surged directly into East Emperor Ancestor's mind. Eastern Emperor Ancestor read the enormous amount of information he had with his eyes closed. North True Star Master was anxious. He knew how much the Ancestor valued that deal, and it would be a problem if something went wrong. Ancestor rarely shows up, yet he showed up quite a few times for the inheritance of Duandong River, and he said a couple of times that he's willing to trade everything. I hope the memory stone will satisfy the Ancestor. After a while, Eastern Emperor Ancestor was skimming through the information much faster than Luo Feng. He ignored all the experience at the bottom and started from the levels higher than Universe Supreme Masters. It was completely silent in the palace. Humph! Eastern Emperor Ancestor opened his eyes, and his eyes glinted fiercely. Ancestor, said North True Star Master. Damn it! That goddamn human Milky Way. Eastern Emperor Ancestor clenched his teeth. Ancestor, what about this memory stone? North True Star Master grew anxious. This memory stone does contain the information superior to Universe Supreme Masters. The Ancestor sneered. And there's a lot. However, the training experience in this memory stone is less sophisticated than mine. It's just a unique way of training. It hasn't even reached my level. It's useless. The Ancestor's voice shook the space around him. North True Star Master said furiously, Ancestor, that human Milky Way dares to trick us. We'll make him regret it. How? The Ancestor looked at North True Star Master. Are you going to the original universe? North True Star Master couldn't respond to that. None of the great beings from other universe eras, including the two Holy Lands, dared to trespass in the original universe, as they would die if they did. Then, we'll just let him have the two supreme true treasures, asked North True Star Master. Eastern Emperor Ancestor was thinking in silence. Perhaps North True Star Master felt distressed for the two supreme true treasures. They were nothing to the Ancestor. What the Ancestor did care about was that he'd been looking forward to the memory stones that contained more sophisticated training experience for so long, yet the training level in the memory stone couldn't even match his level. His hope was gone. He couldn't just let it go. Could he simply be blunt about it with Luo Feng? He understood that Luo Feng couldn't read the training experience superior to the Universe Supreme Master level, which meant Luo Feng did want to give a memory stone recording sophisticated training experience. Yet he wasn't sure how sophisticated the training experience was. Perhaps it's just bad luck. Perhaps Luo Feng has memory stones that have more sophisticated training experience. Eastern Emperor Ancestor still had hope. A token showed up on his palm. It was a communication token. The Ancestor transmitted the message. Luo Feng. Inside the city leader's palace, Luo Feng sat in a quiet palace, drinking. At one end of the palace were railings, and the entire primal chaos city was in sight when someone leaned against the railings. He looked relaxed, yet actually, 99% of his mind was in the space of inheritance in the boat of Mausoleum. An avatar of godly power was comprehending the path of beast god. The avatar of godly power in the ninth abyss had already crumbled, as the so-called top techniques in the ninth abyss could be found in the inheritance of Duandong River, and he could find more detailed and comprehensive engravings. The best way to improve his power was to become a universe master as soon as possible. However, even if he hit the threshold and had cultivated enough, it might take him a long time to make the breakthrough, perhaps dozens of eras. If he was lucky, he could succeed in one shot, but Luo Feng hadn't reached the threshold yet. The time in the space of inheritance was 10,000 times faster than the time outside. Luo Feng thought. 1 year equals 1 era outside. No matter how long it takes, I'll become a universe master within decades. Huh? Luo Feng frowned. The token given by North True Star Master. Why is he contacting me now? Is it something about the memory stone? All the 3 memory stones prepared for the deal had training experience superior to Universe Supreme Masters. However, they weren't qualified to be included in the core inheritance, so it meant it was not sophisticated. At least it was weaker than Duandong River. Training experience at Duandong River's level was included in the core inheritance. He waved his hands, and a token showed up. A message was sent. Luo Feng. North True, Luo Feng responded. I'm Eastern Emperor, the message continued. Luo Feng was stunned. Eastern Emperor. That was the most ancient being in Universe Ocean. And judging from the size of the miniature universe, he must have been the most powerful being in Universe Ocean as well. I can't believe Eastern Emperor Ancestor contacted me directly and called my name. It's my honor, said Luo Feng. The great beings from other universe eras often called him Human Milky Way. Only a few of them called him Luo Feng. How are the 2 supreme true treasures? Asked Eastern Emperor Ancestor. Fantastic, answered Luo Feng. The only thing is, one of them is an attack-type true treasure. It'll be better if it's a palace-type, or a domain-type true treasure. I've met your requirements, however, you didn't meet mine, Eastern Emperor Ancestor replied via a message. Although the memory stone you gave me does have training experience superior to the Universe Supreme Master level, there's too little of it, so it's useless to me. Luo Feng said, sorry. I can't read the material superior to Universe Supreme Masters, so I have no idea how sophisticated it should be. I can't argue with anything you said. Are you saying I lied? Eastern Emperor Ancestor sounded furious. No, said Luo Feng. I'm just saying that the experience in the memory stone does surpass the level of Universe Supreme Masters. I guarantee you, by my reputation, that the training experience in the memory stone is lower than my level, said Eastern Emperor Ancestor. It's completely useless to me. I require you to give me another memory stone, and I won't pledge it with any supreme true treasures. Luo Feng was shocked. Why did the Ancestor talk about his reputation? He understood now that Eastern Emperor Ancestor didn't want to trade his supreme true treasures for memory stones anymore. I can't do that, said Luo Feng. Firstly, I don't know whether you're telling the truth or not. I can't just give you the second memory stone without getting anything in return. Besides, we had a pact before. The first memory stone requires 2 supreme true treasures, and the second one requires 4 supreme true treasures. Your first stone is useless to me, said Eastern Emperor Ancestor. Why would I lie to you? Eastern Emperor Ancestor was infuriated. If it weren't for the superior training experience, he wouldn't have wasted so much time talking to Luo Feng. He was very aloof, and Luo Feng wasn't even worth his time. The only thing he valued was the inheritance of Duandong River. I don't care whether you lied or not, said Luo Feng. If you want the second memory stone, give me 4 supreme true treasures. Humph. Eastern Emperor Ancestor was furious and cut off the communications. Luo Feng glanced at the token, smiled, and put it away. Eastern Emperor. Luo Feng sneered. An old guy who can never step out of the Holy Land. Your reputation means nothing to me. Do you really think you can get the second memory stone without paying anything? Just wait and see, Luo Feng thought. He could tell that the Ancestor wanted more advanced experience. As long as he really wanted it, he would say yes. Let's just see who's more patient, Luo Feng thought. At a membrane of the original universe, a towering being rushed out of the membrane and a hole appeared. The towering being had 2 horns on his head with bloody hair. There were green scales on his body and black scales on his chest. He had 6 eyes, and another pair of tiny ears were hidden under his larger, pointy ears. He was carrying a strange weapon. Bar Lion Master looked around and whispered, "It's better to rush out from my god country out of the original universe. That giant black hole is too far. Okay, I'll head to Tilted Peak Sector now." He teleported himself. After only half an hour, Bar Lion Master stopped among the chaos airflow. He saw the towering miniature universe. This is the miniature universe of Huge Axe, Bark Lion Master whispered. I saw it every time, when I went to Tilted Peak Sector. Why does it look different this time? He was far from the miniature universe, and it just started to crumble. The surface was still intact, and the space cracks were small, but the inner space had completely crumbled. However, it felt different this time. The miniature universe had been forceful and vivid in the past. This time, however, it looked dead. Bar Lion Master sensed that something was wrong. Huh? Bar Lion Master teleported himself to beside the small universe. Ah? Bar Lion Master was shocked. He saw the cracks in the miniature universe, and the chaos airflow kept penetrating it. He could even see some destroyed lands. Huge axe. Dead? Bar Lion Master was bewildered. Bar Lion Master was not simply an ordinary living soul residing in Huge Axe's miniature universe. Many humans who had witnessed the world collapsing and the space crumbling did not understand this meaning. How could Bar Lion Master not know? How could it be? How could it be that a universe supreme master has been annihilated? Bar Lion Master's 6 pairs of eyes widened. Teacher origin of the humans was suppressed by the origin of the original universe and for eternity. Bar Lion Master's eyes were filled with tears. The only one truly holding the race together was Huge Axe Creator, and now, even Huge Axe Creator has been annihilated. Does it not mean that the human race will no longer be a pinnacle race? The Automaton Clan, the Demons, the Bug Clan, and the Humans. The 4 pinnacle races occupy the 4 main territories with such pride. They even look down on us, the Prison Clan. Now that Huge Axe has been annihilated, that means the Automaton Clan, the Demons, and the Bug Clan will act soon. There is no way they will let the humans go. Besides, that human Milky Way Horde leader Luo Feng received the inheritance of the pulse of Duandong River, something that all the powers in the entire universe ocean coveted. This inheritance is said to be the chance for anyone to transcend a reincarnation era. This is just great. Now the killings are going to get even crazier. Bar Lion Mater was quick to pick up the reality of what Huge Axe's annihilation would represent. Huge Axe's annihilation was obviously a fact that could not be kept under wraps. It was just a matter of who learned about it first. For now, the news has yet to be spread, so it seems like the other races are still in the dark. Bar Lion nodded discreetly. I have to rush back and report this to my clan. In the homeland of the Prison Clan, the birthplace was a place named Prison. Prison was fraught with dangers. The life forms here were born to fight and kill one another. Every waking moment, countless beings were annihilated. They were all from various races, but because their birthplace was a common prison, they were collectively known as the Prison Clan. In this endless prison, the being with the highest status was undoubtedly the legendary Prison Clan Devil Ancestor. Rolling mountains exuded frigid air. Layers of mountains cascaded over one another. On every layer of mountain range were countless steps upon countless steps, extending and leading up to the higher grounds, then extending and leading further up into the end of the clouds. On these steps were numerous powerful living souls of the Prison Clan. All of them exuded a formidable aura. The sprawling mountain range was so vast and lofty that it was known as the Prison Clan Ancestor Mountain. A lone figure appeared instantly and flew straight for the peak of the Ancestor Mountain. The numerous powerful guards of the Prison Clan, on the steps, did not dare stop the approaching figure the moment they saw who it was. A short moment later, this figure arrived at the public square of the group of towering godly palaces. Bar Lion Master, what urgent news do you bring us? The leader of guards at the end of public square asked in a low growl. How dare you send only your avatar here? Of course, this must be something major, Bar Lion Master said solemnly. The palace doors behind that leader of the guards opened automatically. A piercing voice that sounded like blades clashing against one another said, "Come in." Devil Ancestor. Bar Lion Master flew in without further ado. In the palace, Bar Lion Master looked up to see that, high up on the throne, a lone figure had appeared out of thin air. This malefic figure was covered in an intricate mix of silver and black, and its entire being was like a human form. It had a long, sharp tail that resembled a scorpion's tail, and this tail extended out to such a length that it could encircle half of the mighty palace. Beneath the silver helmet, a pair of red eyes looked down. This was Devil Ancestor. The prison clan's Devil Ancestor. Under Devil Ancestor's guiding strategies, the entire prison clan was filled with internal fights and struggles that were brutal and horrifying. There was also a hierarchical caste system in place that was exceptionally strict. These crazy internal fights and struggles began at the lowest level of the hierarchy. Therefore, every prison clan great being that arose was an embodiment of absolute iron will, insanity, and cruelty. This was very unlike that of the humans, whose leaders took a friendlier and kinder cultivation approach to bringing up their ordinary humans beings. Devil Ancestor. Bar Lion Master greeted with reverence. Your avatar is here to see me. What is it? Devil Ancestor's voice made Bar Lion Master's heart tremble. Bar Lion Master replied right away. My original body is preparing to head for Tilted Peak Sector. Speak up. What is it? Devil Ancestor was getting a little impatient. Huge Axe. Huge Axe has been annihilated. Bar Lion Master replied, no longer mindful of anything else. Huge Axe Creator has been annihilated. A shadow flashed past, and an arm filled with black muscles covered with a silver shell instantly appeared before Bar Lion Master, and caught hold of him. At the same time, Devil Ancestor's eyes shot out hazy red light, which quickly enshrouded Bar Lion Master as he asked anxiously, Huge Axe. Are you saying that the human, Huge Axe Creator, has been annihilated? Are you kidding me? Given his ability, which is so much more powerful than you can ever imagine. Devil Ancestor might not be clear about Huge Axe Creator's true power, but he could faintly feel something about it, and he knew that Huge Axe was a terrifying figure. I certainly dare not lie to you, Devil Ancestor, Bar Lion reported. My original body was heading for Tilted Peak Sector. In the midst of teleporting, I chanced upon his miniature universe and was shocked to discover that Huge Axe Creator's miniature universe was starting to crack open with empty holes surfacing. A large amount of chaotic airflow was surging in, and I could even see through the empty holes and look inside where the space was collapsing. Land was cracking with broken parts floating about. Apparently, the miniature universe has started to fall apart. It is confirmed that Huge Axe Creator is dead. I know the severity of the situation, therefore, I did not dare hesitate and sent my avatar over right away to report this matter. The black-muscled arm released its grip and slowly retracted. On his throne, Devil Ancestor's eyes were glimmering. Then he said, if what you say is true, then you have done a great service to the clan. Devil Ancestor vanished from his throne. Merely a short moment later, within Universe Ocean, amidst the chaotic airflow that was not far from the membranous wall of the original universe, a horrifying figure appeared and stood tall within the void space. He had a huge and sharp tail that encircled his body, and his pair of red eyes gazed far off into the distance at the area that was occupied by a miniature universe. Huge Axe's miniature universe. Devil Ancestor scrutinized it. With one step forward, Devil Ancestor arrived at the border of the membranous wall of the miniature universe, dealing such a thunderous strike against it that a part of it collapsed and fell within the miniature universe. What a weak membranous wall. Devil Ancestor took one look behind him. It is not even capable of self-restoration. Not a trace of life at all. He turned around. He looked at the vast space, at the floating pieces of space that contained bits and pieces of land. The entire universe was still gradually falling apart. To think that Huge Axe could actually be annihilated. Devil Ancestor's eyes were shining. Unbelievable. He was so powerful. Not long ago, he even obtained a supreme true treasure. By right, given his power, there should be no one capable of killing him. When one becomes a universe supreme master, he will always be vigilant and careful. Even in the three most dangerous lands, he would not allow himself to fall into any desperate situation. And yet, Huge Axe was annihilated. Just how did he die? Devil Ancestor was secretly astounded. Whatever. Since he is dead, things are going to get interesting. Devil Ancestor's eyes were filled with anticipation. Let me add some fuel to the flames. Huge Axe may be dead, but the human race still has 17 universe masters. Earlier, Milky Way Horde leader Luo Feng received the inheritance of the pulse of Duan Dong River. With his help, the power of the human race should not be underestimated. Especially that teacher origin, though devil ancestor. Teacher origin. I'm afraid he has left the human race with a trump card. No matter what, a race without a single universe supreme master, and yet with the inheritance of the pulse of Duan Dong River. Humph. Devil ancestor said to himself. Let the demons, automaton race, and bug clan take the lead. We shall see just how sturdy a foundation the human race has. Can it hold on or not? If it cannot hold on much longer, then my prison race will be quick to catch up. Very quickly, under Devil Ancestor's secret plot to add fuel to the flames, news of Huge Axe Creator's annihilation was transmitted to the demons, automaton clan, and bug clan almost at the same time. The original universe, amidst the quiet starry sky. 3 streaks flashed across the void space and landed instantly. One was a huge oval, one was a sylph-like shadow, and the last one was a gigantic, silver-white snakehead. Dream Tea, Empress, you all should have looked into the matter already, the shadow of the oval said. Yes, the sylph-like shadow replied. Huge Axe has indeed been annihilated, the silver-white snakehead also said. This news was discovered by Fan Yi Master, who was wandering around. When the news spreads, I believe the entire original universe will learn of it very quickly. The shadow of the black oval said solemnly, the humans and we 3 races occupy the best territorial lands within the entire original universe. These territories allow us to breed life forms with great potential, which is why we 3 races can remain strong and powerful all this while, especially the humans, with that teacher origins power that is extremely strong. Even though Huge Axe has never really displayed an outburst of his power, there were several times when traces of it could be detected. I trust that you all should be aware. One after the other, these 2 universe supreme masters are so powerful that territory belonging to the human race must certainly be extraordinary, to be able to breed living souls with such potential. The fight for territory is inevitable, the shadow of the oval said. Besides, this time around, that inheritance of the pulse of Duan Dong River is bound to become an object of desire that various clans in the original universe will covet for. True. Yes, who wouldn't desire it? This is a chance for transcending reincarnation. What should we do? The 3 universe supreme masters discussed the matter among themselves. They had ideas of attacking, but just one party attacking would be very exhausting, and they were all worried about being placed at a disadvantage upon being attacked while the others stood to gain from their losses. The power of the human race must not be underestimated, the sylph-like shadow said in a voice that was incomparably pleasing to the ears. Teacher origin was so powerful. Most likely, he would have left his human race with some trump cards. And the boat of mausoleum of that Luo Feng is also extremely powerful. I'm just worried that Luo Feng does not only have a boat of mausoleum. He has likely brought some other treasures with him, too. So, if we are going to attack, we 3 races must act together. If this is the case, continued the sylph-like shadow. For those who are waiting behind to gain some benefits, we 3 races can deal with them together. It will not be strenuous at all. As for our 3 races, we have a total of 4 universe supreme masters, and the humans do not even have a single universe supreme master now. Exterminating them all, a piece of cake. So long as we are able to deal with the strongest few, everything will work out just fine. Then what should our course of action be? Of course, we must act fast. We must be so fast that they do not even have the chance to react. Especially for the other groups of powers of the original universe, since the news just got out, the other groups of powers may not know anything yet. Besides, they are scattered all over the original universe. They are still far from us. On the other hand, we happen to be near to the humans. We can be the fastest to take action. Sure. The Bug Clan, the Demons, and the Automaton race were extraordinary, too, given that they were all pinnacle races. Their efficiency was naturally extremely high. A speedy decision was made. Then they took action on that very day. This video will end here.